Woke school district, what we're calling it. Okay, we are going to thank you. There's the tweet right now. Now, this tweet is from someone by the name of Karlin Borisenko. I hope that I pronounced that correctly.
Is she pretending like she doesn't know who Karlin Borisenko is? This is incredible. Wait, this is a really fun detail. All right. Karlin Borisenko is this stupid asshole who wrote that tweet saying that Jewish people in the Holocaust chose to be born Jewish and go in the Holocaust. PragerU used to have a video up that was hosted by Karlin Borisenko.
No, they didn't.
Yes. It was one of their biggest videos because she's one of those who's like, I used to be on the left, but then the left left me. She did a whole video for PragerU. A whole video where she talked all about how, like, I used to be a liberal, but then I went to a Trump rally and everyone was so nice to me.
Oh, that's this lady?
That's this stupid piece of shit.
They know who she is.
They literally removed her video after she wrote that tweet because they knew it could bring blowback to them. And now this fucking lying through her teeth piece of shit is pretending like she doesn't even know who she is. Like,
that's funny.
Oh, the disgustingness of right-wingers.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
It knows no bounds. Incredible.
Funny.
Incredible.
Funny.
Disgusting. Okay.
On February 8th, 2022, teachers in the Burlington, Vermont School District hosted a webinar called Let's Talk About Gender Identity and Expression. They discussed the gender unicorn to middle school students. Let's take a look at the video, Will.
Yeah, Will.
Perfectly fine to discuss gender issues with high school students.
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
Hello? Will?
What happened here, PragerU?
Did you fuck up,
And I
PragerU?
want you to react. No audio?
Wait.
No audio. Okay.
This is a video of a stream, so they were...
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we got no audio, but as we figure out the technical difficulties, essentially what...
I wish she was less hot. I really do.
Well, also, like, to be fair, I mean, obviously we post some videos that have some technical difficulties in them, but also, like, we're two people.
And we don't get paid like these guys do.
And we don't get paid like these guys do. The fact that PragerU, with all their money and
we don't get
staff,
paid like these guys do.
left this part in is weird to me.
this was... Do we have audio now?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Let
At
me
all?
jump in here.
No, at all for me and Will?
Because if they ever do get
For
audio,
we. Okay, good.
it's a very easy cut to just go from them saying "Let's watch"
I know, I
to
do
the
it all the
part,
time.
to the part where it actually played. So, I guess maybe she's going to say
I
something.
did it yesterday.
She's probably going to say something really profound here, so that's probably why they kept it in.
Yeah.
If you're watching live, weigh in the comments and say if you like this impromptu comedy that we're giving you right now.
Of course I
But
will.
essentially...
This is the
Is
best
it
live
comedy?
they've ever experienced.
Is that comedy?
You know, as someone who has studied impromptu comedy,
Impromptu comedy.
woo!
There's planned comedy and then there's impromptu
Yeah,
comedy.
impromptu. You know, that's the word for that. There's definitely no other word for it.
Essentially what this video was is
Yeah,
it was
Replicavox gotta seem humble.
it looked like it was a virtual conference between teachers and students. Guidance counselors and students talking about gender identity. Who knows if there were even parents on this virtual conference that was happening.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
But
Wait,
Oh
wait,
no,
whoa,
there were parents?
whoa.
But parents know it all. Like, this is like such a right-wing thing, is this obsession with parents.
But right-wingers love a parent.
Do you know how many people have parents who are bad for them?
Horrible parents!
Like, sorry parents out there, but honestly, if you ask me, like, what percentage of parents do I think are bad at parenting children, I would say the majority. If I had to guess, on Earth, I would say over 50% of parents are very bad at being parents.
Because they don't know what they're doing half the time.
Right, because to be fair to parents, you know, kids don't come with an instruction manual. Raising a kid is a challenging task. And raising them in a way where they'll grow up to be like healthy and feeling good and balanced is an even bigger task. You know, it's one task just to keep them alive, and it's another task to actually bless them with mental health.
Right. Well,
And like, fuck parents. Like, this automatic, this premise that she's going from, of just like, oh, there weren't parents. Keep the parents out of the room. You think the parents are going to help those discussions?
also, I'm sorry. When I was 13 years old and gay,
Yeah.
I came out in middle school. I was
Right.
12. And so I didn't want my parents in there. If I want to
Right.
talk about my sexuality or my gender identity, I wouldn't say anything if my parents were in the room.
Right.
That just would get the kids to say fucking nothing.
Or just make them, make
them feel
it would make them
unsafe.
clam up.
Yeah, so if you want to have these conversations, don't have the parents in the room, because parents can be terrible.
Yeah, the only reason that any kid is born to stupid parents and doesn't become an idiot to themselves is because they went to a school that didn't let their parents teach them. That's for me, one of the number one reasons to have schools.
Because it's not your parents.
Because you can't trust parents to teach kids facts or critical thinking skills. Are you kidding me? Parents fail at this left and right all the time. It's why we have schools. And now she's just like, where were the parents? Where were the novice, non-expert parents in this discussion? Fuck them.
And I'm sure they're not going to speak to it, but the woman, the woman who's leading the lecture, I wonder if they're going to have something to say about what she looks like.
And Chosen One said, it's again rooted in that same fear, yes. They're terrified of their child winding up with a different set of values from them.
Of course,
exactly.
that's essentially what's the problem.
So that's why it's so important that the parent always knows what's best. Yep. Mom
knows best.
Obey the parent.
That's a big PragerU thing.
Oh yeah, they love obedience.
Not Dennis Prager, the other guy, the Living Thumb.
The Living Thumb, yeah.
He said that the greatest phrase that a parent can use is "because I said so." And if you ever explain your reasoning to your child, that's bad, because then the child can argue with your reasoning. Yeah. And you can't have bad reasoning because kids don't have brains.
Right, exactly.
So if a kid has an argument that might be valid, I don't know, that can't happen.
Right.
Because kids aren't people. They're small animals that turn into people.
Yeah. And the reality is that because I said so is kind of the worst thing you could say to a kid to justify things. I know few phrases made me hate adults more as a kid than when teachers and whoever said, because I said so. The real, actual, healthy way to have a healthy society is to always explain your reasoning behind things.
100% of the time.
And I honestly think the only reason, 99% of criminals and laws that are broken, they are being broken because the law is already unjust. Like, people, I really think humans at large, sure, there are outliers. Sure, you can have the occasional person who's just really wants to start shit for whatever reason in their upbringing and experience, or they have weird brain chemistry, whatever. But most people, I really think, would never commit a crime if the legal system were built on just laws. And the issue is it's not. It's why we watch mafia movies and cheer on the mafia heroes committing crimes is because on the one hand we know the mafia does terrible things and breaks knees and kills people, and at the same time we relate to that thing of the system's not fair. The way that money is distributed already isn't fair. So why not be a criminal? Why not go out and be a mafia guy and have a mafia empire? Because it's no more ethically indefensible than the system, the status quo system you're asked to participate in.
Right.
Anyway.
Anyways, like I said, I wish she was less hot. She's
in more and more school districts, as we see, and there's a whole Twitter thread, which I'm going to show. There's a whole Twitter thread. Oh, wait, we can't do that. There's a whole Twitter thread that shows.
This is hilarious. How much is goofing up in this presentation? Did you prepare at all?
I guess this is impromptu comedy.
Oh, right, it's impromptu comedy. I
It's
forgot.
impromptu comedy. They're doing this on purpose. It's
she probably went and trained at an impromptu comedy theater.
Those very, very sensitive, age-inappropriate conversations happening between teachers and students. And this is happening across the country.
Once your junk starts pumping crud, I think you should be able to talk about this shit, personally. You're post-pubescent?
I came out when I was 12.
Come on.
It's not age inappropriate. I had a crush on my first grade teacher.
Yeah.
I was 6 years old. I was like,
As soon as nature flips the switch on sex stuff, you should talk about it. It's good to talk about.
I don't understand. What is this?
Well, they're just Puritans. They're just like the same dumb Puritan fucks who landed at Plymouth Rock. They're the latest generation of Puritan dumb shits. And this is just how they think. They've built so much of their identity and their value system on I don't touch dirty things. Right. And that just defines everything.
I'm curious if there are statistics available of how weird the porn is that the right wing watches.
There's some around that Pornhub data study that was done. They did have breakdowns of registered voters, if I recall correctly.
Really? I'm going to take a look at that at some point,
Yeah.
because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like
Well, just
when
like
you
that
repress that shit, it gets weird.
Yeah, and that whole... Well, no, that's the thing, right. Well, that's the truth of all Puritans, is that they're all gross behind closed doors because they have to put on this whole Puritan facade, this whole Puritan show to the public.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, it shows in one Pornhub. Maybe sometime we should do a whole segment, just go over that Pornhub study.
Oh, yeah, I do that tomorrow.
There'd be tons to talk about. Yeah, sure, that could be good for
I
tomorrow.
love talking about porn.
Porn's
Even if
a lot of fun.
Porn's a lot of fun.
you don't think it's happening in your neck of the woods, I hate to guarantee that it most likely is, but
She's like, these sneaky guidance counselors are helping kids talk about sexuality.
They have yet to be able to bring up one of their pieces of evidence. Twice they have
I hate
fumbled
to tell ya.
on presenting the evidence, and then her follow-up to failing to even present her evidence is to say, like, I guarantee this is happening.
She's like, I swear.
Like
My source is me.
And truly, and I think I've said this before, but like truly, definitely, I mean, most of my loathing for right-wingers is that they have horrible ideas that hurt the world. And they're very good at getting their horrible ideas implemented and hurting the world. That's like most of what I hate about Republicans and right-wingers. But also, I'm just very jealous of their shamelessness.
Oh, yeah.
Like that this woman, if I had to guess, she sleeps well at night.
Yeah.
This woman, like
She looks like she does.
She
Her
looks well
skin's
rested. Her skin
fantastic.
looks. She's glowing.
She's glowing. She's super, like, looks well taken care of.
And that's just horrifying to me. To think that someone could spend their career, her career is being a stupid liar, a whole life of being a stupid liar, and at night she's like, like, I'm like, how is she not just laying in bed like, everything I am is a lie? I've never said a single true thing in my life.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they just don't have that circuit in their brain, it seems like.
I lied a couple of times to someone I was dating, and I didn't sleep for a month. Like, I can't believe that these people
Seriously.
sleep at night. Right-wingers are always such good big spoons.
Well, I wouldn't know about that, but perhaps.
I feel like right-wingers would be so fun at parties. With all this repressed sexual energy,
Right.
I'm sure they'd all be super fun if they just, like, stopped doing what they were doing and never lied again.
Well, yeah, everyone could be fun at parties if just everyone didn't lie. Or
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly lies.
Her secret thought-stopping techniques. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yes.
Honestly.
Thought terminating cliches
Honestly.
all the way down.
there's a Twitter. Hold on, I want to see. Can we go to the thing? No, he's getting the audio. He's getting the audio. Can I go? Can I go to the? Can I show it? Test it out. Okay, we're gonna
she's
test.
still fumbling. Also, same thing with the right winger in chat earlier. It was the same. I'm like, how can you? Like the fact that that guy could go into a chat and be so embarrassing, make the most tired, pathetic, thoroughly debunked arguments.
It's just the same.
And now that
thing
I think that
over and
that guy is
over
probably
and
now
over.
just fine. He feels fine.
And he's gonna do it again.
And he's gonna do it again. He's gonna go and he's probably might be in another chat right now, saying, "Oh, actually, have you read the bill?" And it's like, fuck. How do you live with yourself? I'm amazed.
It's like a hobby for these people.
Like,
they
I-
come
like-
in here
like-
and they're
like-
like,
yeah.
hey, actually, I have a crazy idea you've never heard before.
Yeah.
Let me talk about it. I'm sure you've never ever heard this before.
Yeah.
Here's this thing you've heard earlier today. It's like, what the fuck? Maybe the people working for them are left and don't want to show stupid videos.
Yeah, the crew is sabotaging them
Yeah.
left
good
and
point,
right.
Replica
Okay, I
Fox.
think they're actually gonna get it up now though.
I think
Let's
Test
see.
it out again. Here we go.
Okay.
We're gonna test it out and see if we can watch this video.
Still nothing.
Still nothing. Oh
Get
man.
it
Okay,
together,
so
PragerU,
what's going
why
on
did
in the
you
world?
Why did you
upload
put
this?
this up?
I mean, I think the answer is because like any content they put up will be watched by like 50,000 people automatically, and so that automatically gets them a little payday. So like, why not put up
Yeah, more
this
minutes
awful content?
is more ads.
Yeah. More minutes, more
District
ads,
in
more
America.
money.
Let's go ahead and just scroll down. The link to this Twitter thread will be in the comments, so
Yeah, exactly.
you guys can all look.
I want to show someone. I gotta go to another stream where I can start over and have me for being confronted with all the ways my viewpoint is highly flawed. Yes.
It's like it's like a kink.
Yes.
It's like they love it. They love to be like constantly told like, are you insane?
Yeah.
And they're like, I feel like they get off on this because why would you, if I came somewhere and someone like debunked with sources what I was saying, I would, first of all, never say it again.
Yeah.
And I'd start crying.
Seriously.
I'd leave and start crying and not know what to do with myself. And these people, they just keep doing it
Yeah.
again and again and again. I'm like, you must get off on this.
Well, and also it's just the joy of being a fucking idiot. You know? I mean, it's also that. Just like, he's not smart enough to get how debunked he just was.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You have to have a certain degree of intelligence and education to even comprehend how hilarious and
Yeah.
pathetic his performance was. And thank you to Joe's one. I'm just always happy to hear from chat. And like, so it's not just us. Like, holy God, he looked like what a joke. And Replica Fox must find friends that agree to me. Stupid fact.
Yeah.
Too stupid to fact check.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
precisely.
I remember we were talking about like Breonna Taylor's case or something.
Yeah.
And I was misinformed about a fact.
A detail. Of the case, yeah.
Of the case.
This one is actually one that I think is worth drawing attention to because it has been misrepresented a lot
Yes.
in left media.
Totally.
That she was asleep when she was shot. This is not true. And it has been repeated a lot on the left. She
Yeah.
was not shot in her sleep. Still horrible, still murdered by cops for no good reason, was not shot in her sleep.
And this happened months ago while we were on chat, and I remember saying it, and someone was like, "No, that's actually not true," and I was like, "Idiot!" And I like looked it up, and
Yeah.
it wasn't true.
Yeah.
I still feel bad about that. Like,
Sure.
I felt weird putting the VOD up.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. Just
Yeah.
because I was immediately debunked on something that I had been, like, saying.
Yeah.
Which was part of left-wing media, which, you know, isn't always great.
Yes. Well, and I think that's the thing is like on the one hand, like, you know, it's good to be aware of that, and it's good to change your mind when you're presented with new, better evidence. And also, we on the left have a problem with like beating ourselves up too much.
Well,
and
yeah, it's
holding
like the
ourselves,
other extreme.
Yeah, to too high of an intellectual standard.
Yeah.
You know, like I said to some other right-wing dummy who was saying that shit, who was like, oh, you're just Googling everything. Like, you know, like, oh, right, the only way you can be smart is to memorize all knowledge and then never double-check your facts. Like, obviously, that's not the case, you know, and one of our most cited smart people of history, Albert Einstein, even said, like, now that we have the written word and books, like, memorizing everything is kind of fucking stupid. You know, like the point of memorize is if you don't have reference, but if you have this external memory source of the written word and now the internet, like, you know, yeah, it like, I mean, I do like memorizing things. I like having a general, you know, base knowledge of stuff to pull from, to talk about things. But like, you don't need to memorize every law that was ever passed and the details of every law. And like, that's what some of these fuckers try to catch you on and get you on. Like, oh, you haven't memorized every detail of every law? Low information voters.
It's like, oh my gosh. Also, welcome, and they're not far from fascist. We actually spoke about this. The fascistic element is that this is going to almost definitely lead to greater privatization of education.
Yes.
Because school budgets are going to be hit really hard with a bunch of parents suing schools because of them not liking what's being taught in said schools.
Also, it's intrinsically fascist to declare a group of people sexual deviants and vilify them across the culture.
Oh,
with
yeah,
all manner of laws.
Well, that's fascism.
Yeah, every fascist administration has done that throughout history. Like it's always, ooh, those gays, those transes, those whatever, those cross-dressers, whatever it is. Like this is very much out of the fascist playbook.
So it's not, I mean, it's not far from fascist, I would say.
Though appreciate that you at least said, you know, they're useless right-wing capitalist laws to make
Which
this
they
world
also
feel like
are,
they're doing
yes.
something.
Also true.
But also, like, not really useless, per se, because they will have an impact and they will make life more dangerous for gay and trans kids. And
for
firmly
kids who are
opposed to that.
sexually abused.
That too. That too.
And capitalism enables fascism.
Right. And Chosen One, well said. Fascist enabling and fascism pursuing aren't terribly different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smart.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Nice one, Chosen One.
Sexy language. We like it. All right, let's see if they
Burlington,
fix
Vermont
the
School
audio.
District hosted a webinar called Let's Talk About Gender Identity. Let's see, in the same webinar, the administrators and representatives from their district equity office have students introduce themselves with pronouns. Again, let's think about this. Middle schoolers are 11, 12, 13 years old.
This is always so funny to me because you learn what pronouns are when you're in elementary school. He, she, they, and it's not just he, she, they. It, us, anything that isn't a proper noun. We.
Pretty much.
So, why are you scared of pronouns? It's so weird. And what they're scared of is they, them.
Yeah.
Or anything other than he or she. But 9 times out of 10, they'll say he, him, she, her. So what's the issue? They're like, they're teaching kids pronouns.
Well, I love the videos that are out there of like guys like Ben Shapiro who will be ranting about how terrible trans people are and like this woke pronoun shit, and then like the next second he uses they to refer to someone. Like,
when you don't know someone's gender, you say they.
Yeah, and he'll be like, how are we supposed to learn all? How are we supposed to learn all these new terms? And then the next sentence he's like they, and it's like, what the fuck?
Fascism is wholly anti-capitalist. But you have a point on the crackdown of gayness. Another point, capitalism enables fascism by creating dire situations and societal collapse, whereas fascists can seize the opportunity.
Wait, so I don't...
I'm not sure what you're...
First of all, also, I forgot to say welcome to the chat. I usually like
yeah.
to say that. I'm a little... We've been getting so much right-wing nonsense. I'm a little... Ugh. But, so welcome to the chat, American NSU. Fascism is wholly anti-capitalist. So which is fascism wholly anti-capitalist, or is it capitalism enables fascism by creating dire situations and societal collapse where fascists can seize the opportunity? Okay, I can kind of see how those maybe
so you're
jive.
saying like because fascists seize the opportunity created by capitalism, therefore it is not capitalism in and of itself. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. I think most people that make any movement possible aren't actively pushing it forward. They're just complicit with it. They let it run by. Fascism is inextricable from, it's a defense mechanism to preserve the system and its own inherent collapses. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
And yeah,
body
that's the thing people don't like to contend with. Most people that make any movement possible aren't actively pushing it forward. They're just complicit in it. They let it roll by. Totally. I would say capitalism and fascism are good bedfellows, personally. And I think that since you're saying capitalism enables the rise of fascism, it seems like you would agree with that.
Fascism is not economically capitalism. How so? Yeah, explain. While
curious.
you explain, I'm going to keep watching this.
Their goal was to center the voices of the students in their discussion of gender.
Cool.
Again, no parents were shown or heard on any of these videos. So in this clip, a school counselor asked the students how administrators could handle it if someone misgenders the students. I've watched all these videos, Will, and I was just...
You've been misgendered.
Oh, when I was growing up, I was misgendered all the time because I was a little kid with long hair. And
yeah.
and
did that feel good, Casey?
No, it didn't.
But you're cis, and so I can see how you, a cis person, being misgendered, that didn't feel good. So it's not like they're saying misgendering. They're saying misgendering applies exclusively to trans youth or non-binary youth.
Also keep in mind, they're now making all these declarative statements, and they've still yet to successfully show us any of the stuff they claim to be criticizing.
Well, yeah, because they can't get their audio to work.
Because they can't get their fucking audio to work, despite having millions and millions of dollars and a full fucking staff.
So disappointed, and just, it's like we see things like this all the time, but the more I see these, the more surprised I really am as a parent that this is happening.
Oh my gosh, it'd be cool if we can we see them? Can we see them?
I'd like to see it.
Can we see them, ma'am?
I bet we can find her Twitter. And
for
and
sure.
we'll get the audio to work on the first try. I bet.
Yeah.
I bet we'll get that audio.
I still have hope that they might actually.
I think so too. I think they can
play
do
it.
I'm not surprised whatsoever, because this is how the left acts, and these people should just admit that they want to sexually assault children, because that's what.
Did you guys hear that?
Look at this sad guy with his stupid brain.
They introduce with pronouns. They want to sexually assault children. How do you make that like intuitive leap?
Yeah, and like this guy, I'm like trying to get a read on him. Like, is he a grifter or just an idiot? And I'm thinking idiot. He seems like pretty fucking dim.
He just looks like.
Well, just the way he talks.
I mean, his like mannerisms.
Yeah.
I don't mean his face is whatever.
No, he just looks like a very generic dude. But anyway, let's hear more of his stupid
They want
thoughts.
to do, and that's what they are continuing to do. These people are sick. I mean, like when you think about a child and you think about what they're thinking about, there is no 5-year-old child who is having these thoughts about their sexuality.
That is not true.
Well, yeah, there's not. I mean, I started jerking off when I was 5 years old, for the record. Full disclosure.
A lot of neurodivergent people like discover their own sexuality super early too.
Yeah. And also this whole time they've been talking about a meeting that happened at a high school or junior high. And now suddenly this dude's saying 5-year-olds. Where the fuck did this come from, sir?
And it's a meeting about like feeling safe in your school and how to handle it when someone misgenders you. I'm sure we'll check ourselves, but I'm sure what's being said here is like, hey, like, you know, here's how to deal with the feeling that comes over you when someone either purposefully or by accident calls you by your wrong gender.
Yeah.
That's not sexual assault.
Not even a little.
That's how to keep yourself sane in a moment where you feel unsafe.
Well, yeah, and this is another thing that's very fascist about all this is it's very big lie type stuff.
Oh,
It's the bigger the lie, the easier it is for people to believe. And that's like why, you know, when we watch one of these fucking right-wing videos or read an article, it's like you have to respond like every sentence they say something false. And it's like overwhelming, you know, and I think there are a lot of people, Americans especially, who almost kind of don't really. Sometimes I think there are a lot who like don't really even get or believe that someone could lie this much. That just the fact that they're watching a video with people who know how to put their clothes on in the morning,
Yeah.
and they have good lighting and you know some kind of professional production values, except for when they can't get anything to fucking work. That I think there are a lot of people who think like that these people can't be morons.
Yeah.
Because look, she's wearing a nice blazer.
She's got big hoops.
She's got big hoops. Her hair's done. Right?
Yeah.
This is a healthy young man who knew how to put on his pants in the morning.
Looks like he probably goes to the gym.
Yeah, surely they can't both be complete fucking idiots and liars, but yes. Yes, I mean, really, it goes to a deeper thing that drives me crazy about our current culture of just in general how much humans worship anyone in a business suit.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Like, for everyone in the world, like, if someone's wearing a business suit, the only thing that proves about them is that they were able to afford and put on a business suit. It does not mean they're smart.
Yeah.
Certainly doesn't mean they're moral or right about anything. All it means is they could buy a suit and they could put it on their body. And for some reason, for so many, I mean, especially in America, I know it's probably with, you know, the different cultures of fashion around the world, there are many exceptions to this, but certainly in America, yeah, it's just like people see like an old white guy in a blue suit with a red tie, and they're just like, a leader! Ah! And it's like, it's so
weird.
goofy.
It's weird. The number of times people have said to me, like, oh, I can't take you seriously because, like, your hair was in a, like, messy bun.
Yeah.
I'm like, so having my hair in a neat bun makes me smarter?
Yeah, truly.
It's, like, such a weird cultural... I have it in a neat bun today,
And, you know, and I think there is something to be said for, like, you know, dressing up in a way to communicate to others that you, like, care about, you know, like showing your whatever. Like I have heard people make arguments for how it can be positive that I think are somewhat legitimate, but on the on the whole, on the macro view, it seems like a really bad thing to me. I think if everyone had a lot less respect for people in suits, the world would be a better place.
And Blayevik says that there's like a cultural difference between the North and the South. I mean, yeah, Casey and I are super northern. We technically live in like Southern America, but like we're on the West. We're in LA. This is the North.
Bucket of fried chicken on your carpet bag.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, no, thank you for drawing attention to that. And yeah, and that's why there are different cultures. And I guess now that you point that out, I guess it is primarily a thing with liberals. conservatives do it too, but as you're pointing out, like there's that flip side to the conservative thing of like, you better be in overalls with a big jug with 3 X's on it, or I'll never trust you, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I think certainly among liberals, it seems like there is a real worship of business suits and, you know, the girl boss, right?
Yeah.
And
Love a shoe
trans,
day.
whatever. All it is people pushing it on them. That is why the rates are so high. It's not
Pushing
because
it on
people are more open to being able to say these.
There are pronouns all over my life.
Yeah.
And I have no desire to transition.
Right.
I am totally comfortable. And it's pushed on me all the time. My whole TikTok For You page is about this shit.
Yeah.
And, like, it's all I see all day, and I'm still cis.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like, you know, like you've said many times, you know, it's not good to put too much emphasis on the idea of like all homophobes are closeted.
I hate that.
Because then you're putting the blame on gay people for homophobia. And there are a lot of instances.
That's a lot of the time.
And I think that this is at play here is with these people who are saying like, oh, if they teach my kids about being gay, they're just going to be gay. Like I do think a lot of those people on some level, the reason they're so threatened is because whenever they hear like, oh, it's okay to be gay, there's a part of them that's like, really? Oh, could I be? And then they're like, no, my parents, my church, my government. You know,
yeah,
and then they're terrified and they're freaked out, and then they go, pass a stupid bill, quick.
I was talking with my friend Brittany the other day when we were hanging out, and when we were sort of joking, but like not really, that we're like convinced everyone's gay and everyone who says they're straight is lying. But I like believe that people are gay and not bisexual, but I don't believe that people are straight and not bisexual. I was like, that was the joke.
I think, you know, I think the Kinsey scale applies.
Yeah.
You know, it's a spectrum of sexuality, and I don't think, I mean, you know, who knows? We can't look inside each other's brains, so maybe we should just take each other's word for it. On this stuff.
These things now, it's because they are pushing these ideologies onto people, onto little kids, because who else is going to believe these ideas? You brainwash them young so that when they grow up, they have these terrible leftist ideas. But this is what the left does.
What is gay leftist?
It is now. Well, that's a total fascist move.
Is
to be
are
like
pronouns leftist?
Apparently, well, they are now in today's political climate.
It's weird.
Pronouns are leftist.
That's weird.
That's where we've come to.
Anyone who's ever addressed me as she, leftist.
Yeah.
They destroy everything.
Well, and it's, you know, dare I say, I use that word abusive, but it's very abusive to that. I mean, you remember how junior high was. I remember how.
Oh, wait, Chosen One, Brainwash the Young, the projection is strong. Literally, this video started with them celebrating the 1-year anniversary of PragerU Kids.
Forgot about that.
A propaganda outlet to brainwash children. And now, and that's why, like, talking to a conservative, debating, discussing with a conservative, you just go down these spiral rabbit holes with them because all they do is project their shit on everybody. Like, all they do is accuse other people of doing the shit they do. And it's very frustrating. And Vladivik, once we have space communism, we're going to fully automate gayness.
Yeah, honestly. We just, like, manufacture that shit. Let's see.
American NSU. I am not as well informed on fascism as I am National Socialism. But a key point to fascism is corporatism, a system which advocates for the grouping of industries into bodies, albeit under heavy direction planning or utter nationalization by the government. Which capitalism does. I mean, capitalism and corporatism are very much compatible.
Yeah, almost unable to separate one from the other.
Combine this with the welfare models, especially under Germany, and profit sharing. It's not particularly capitalist. Sorry for not responding to yours, but no worries.
No, that's
no
okay.
worries. Take your time.
Busy is cool.
Appreciate you responding. Well, yeah, but if you're talking about specifically German fascism, which I personally wouldn't refer to as National Socialism, because I think that's propagating the Nazis' co-opting of the term socialism, even though the first people they executed were communists.
Right.
So I'd say be careful with that terminology. But yeah, I don't see this all. I mean, certainly, I guess you could say that capitalism leads to fascism, and once it becomes like fully fascist, it's not exactly capitalist anymore, which I guess I could kind of agree with that framing, but you still have capitalism leading you to fascism. So I still think it's fair to say capitalism is fascist if it leads to fascism.
Right.
Even if you're trying to delineate a difference or distinguish a difference between.
Yeah. It feels like pulling at
it feels like splitting hairs.
Yeah.
On your part. I think it's pretty fair to say that capitalism is fascist, and fascism, thrives on capitalism.
Oh yeah. I mean, fascism is allowed by capitalism, so it has to be fascistic.
Junior high was.
Wait, so you think it was that the Hitlerists got rid of the? So you think all the left-wingers they killed were Nazis? These were left-wingers who were denouncing them.
Yeah.
As I understand
they were the
it.
ones who posed a threat to his regime. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't think this is a correct interpretation of the history.
You're welcome to, if you have a source, because only if you want to sub, that's awesome. But only subscribers can chat. I mean, sorry, can send links.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say hi in the chat. That's me. You can send me the link, and I'll check out whatever link you have to that.
I want to remember
Everything,
how junior high was. It was terrible.
everything is confusing in junior high. You're trying to figure out who you are, what you're about, all of this stuff. You're going through very, very different changes in your mind and your body as a preteen.
She just said you're young and you're trying to figure out who you are and what you're going through. And these people are allowing them to be open about who they are and what they're going through. And they're saying that that's bad and that's wrong.
Yeah, and we can get into the Night of Long Knives, but I think the core point is just you yourself are saying that capitalism leads to fascism, that it facilitates fascism, and so just by that's enough for me to call capitalism fascist. So if that's not enough for you to call capitalism fascist, okay,
That's cool.
and we can disagree on that. But I don't think. I think this is just. It's not going to be, our perspectives aren't going to be changed by historical facts on this specific dynamic, because it's just a question of whether or not you think that a thing leading to a thing makes it like that thing, or if you think that it's really important to parse out which is which.
Which, yeah, a lot of, it's a pretty, that kind of parsing of language is a big liberal thing, too.
Yes, and yes, and to Blatjevic, yes, liberals will always choose fascists over communists. It was very upsetting. I mean, I was feeling that when we were reading this cancel culture article yesterday written by liberals, as I was just like, this is just a whole article of liberals, playing right into fascist hands.
Mm-hmm. And Replica Fox!
Replica
Good night!
Fox!
Yeah, we'll have stories tomorrow. Don't worry. We're just crock full of stories.
We will see you tomorrow, and good luck with the overtime.
Yes,
we're rooting for you.
We will be here
to
say hello when you get back.
Yeah, and we'll be here tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time.
Tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Watching. Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow's our Friday, girl.
Hell yeah. Oop.
Oop.
Oop, you actually muted her.
But
God, we can't work our shit.
Look how quick. That was so easy.
Kablammy.
Sometimes she's moody, she's cranky, all of these normal things that a preteen is going through, and to take advantage of that without parents present in the atmosphere of a school conference, so to speak, with guidance counselors who are supposed to be guiding these students academically, it's really abusive. And it's taking advantage of these kids who are in this very delicate stage of life. And
they still haven't shown any evidence. They still haven't been able to play the videos or show the Twitter thread they said they're going to throw.
I sneezed on myself. Gross.
And American NSU, capitalism can lead to fascism or any political ideology. The point I originally made was because it made society collapse. Certain groups are able to gain power. It could be communist, fascist, jihadist, or whatever else. Also, there was 2 ads, so don't what he said. Got it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, okay, I get that distinction. So you're saying it can lead to fascism, but doesn't necessarily. Got it. I would say it seems like it
seems like capitalism is not gonna lead to communism.
Capitalism.
It seems like it's gonna go the other way.
Well, but there certainly could be a communist revolution. I'm not counting on it in the near future.
Right.
But
that would be a revolution. That would be we gotta go the other way. If you're following the path of capitalism,
right,
without making a hard turn, you're gonna get to fascism.
Because if capitalism makes society collapse and then leftists take over, I'm thrilled.
Oh yeah, I hope that happens.
You know, I certainly don't want them to repeat certain mistakes that former leftist regimes have made, and I am fully in the belief that specifically market socialism can be a much better system for humans all over the earth than capitalism currently is.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Right.
I think that's the big
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And I would say that capitalism as a mechanism dependently produces inequality more than anything else, and makes the rich richer and the poor poorer. And that I don't know. I mean, but you know, I think I can agree that it depends. Like different situations can lead to fascism, certainly.
Sure, like it's sort of like every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square. It's kind of like that. Like fascism is generally caused by capitalism, but not all capitalism leads to fascism.
Yeah, and the other issue is that at least currently in America, those who are the most pro-capitalist are also the most fascist in their thinking and the way they approach everything in politics. So yeah, good distinction to make of, you know, there is nuance here, and I think at least in our current scenario, it seems like capitalism is working pretty well to empower fascism.
It's like
Because
what it's
all the
designed
because
to do.
yeah, most rich people choose to be right wing, and then you get fascism.
It's
And you know, and also we're saying whenever we talk about fascism that there is debate around definitions. You know, you can go look up definitions of fascism in different sources, be it, you know, a Webster's dictionary or a Encyclopedia Britannica or Wikipedia or what have you, and you're going to find, you know, variation in all those definitions, slight variation. And I think that the you know, the modern right wing is very fascist. In terms of all kinds, you know, like the aggrandizing of a fictional past where everything was great and now it's all terrible and we have to go back to make America great again. I mean, make America great again as a phrase in and of itself is fascist, is like classic fascism.
So, in short, what you're saying here is right-wingers are going to lead us into a capitalist fascism. Yikes.
Oh, first-time chat from Teabag710. Welcome, Teabag710.
Oh, no, not welcome. We're putting an end to gays trying to sexualize our children.
Well, no, I give a welcome to everybody when they first arrive.
I mean, yeah, but like,
I get it.
yikes.
No, very yikes. No, we'll get to the yikes.
We'll get ya.
Nothing wrong with the don't say gay bills. If you have an issue with it, you shouldn't be around children. Wrong. Wrong. First thing you said is wrong.
Yikes.
Also, I'm guessing that the teabag name means you were a teabagger, like you liked Sarah Palin. That's pretty embarrassing. Teabag710, we're putting an end to gays trying to sexualize our children. The buck stops here. Again, incorrect.
If you're going to come in here and say shit like
Yeah.
that, just join our Discord. or
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
ban
because
you,
you're being
'cause
super
that's
homophobic
super
and
fucking
disgusting.
gross.
So you can either join our Discord and talk to us voice to voice, or you can be banned if you keep saying disgusting, bigoted, homophobic shit.
Gays trying to sexualize our children. I'm a gay.
Lol get owned.
Oh,
I
you
won.
won.
Oh, you
Oh,
win.
you won.
Oh, you won by not coming to the Discord and talking with us.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Enjoy your victory. Okay.
Anyways. Yeah, because I'm not going to sit here debating an asshole.
And, you know, the more we realize what's happening as parents.
No, we're not banning you for your opinion, stupid.
No, we're not.
We're saying you will be banned if you keep saying homophobic things, and that you should come into our Discord. Would you like to talk to us on Discord, or are you too afraid? Are you a coward? Are you a coward, or do
me
you
see if I
have
can
the
open
courage
Discord.
to talk to us on Discord? This is the question. So let us know. Are you a coward, or will you speak to us?
Let me do this real quick.
Oh, you just got done with all this Discord drama. You poor dear.
Oh, no.
I want to speak in Twitch chat for once. So the answer is you're a coward.
Aw.
Can you ban the coward real quick,
Yeah,
Zoe?
bye. I'm sorry.
Bye, coward. Good luck with your cowardly
We were
life.
totally open to talking
Oh, yeah.
to you with your voice, but
But you're too scared
no,
to come
bye.
on and making up excuses. Bye-bye.
Let's say.
Yeah, go get in there. It'll take a second. Done?
Yep.
Okay.
With quickness. Let's see.
Vlajovic, the participation trophy of debate.
Yeah. Oh, welcome, old man Jake.
Welcome, old man Jay.
And
And sorry,
that's our
they're
question
gone now.
too.
That was our question too.
We have a thing because we have like these right wingers coming in saying fucking gross stuff,
And
then
they won't listen to
they'll talk
reason.
to us for like an hour, and
Yeah.
we're realizing like I'm not gonna do this because then they end up bullying the chat.
That was the thing. We had one big encounter with an idiot right winger in chat who we were just debating with them, and we didn't realize how much it was making chat difficult for other people in chat, and we want our chat to be chill and awesome and safe for everyone.
Yeah.
So we now have this thing of like, if someone's just obviously being a dickhead, they can either come on and talk to us on Discord, or they can be banned and fuck off.
All right, so I got Discord to open. So
Great.
if anyone else comes in here being goofy, why do you just jump to labeling people right or left?
Well, if someone is saying that they like the don't say gay bill, I think it's
a
and
right-wing bill.
and that anyone who has an issue with it shouldn't be allowed around children. I mean, that seems like a pretty good.
They are just trolls.
Oh, so you mean that like they could just be trolling and they don't actually believe in anything? Yeah, they might be a nihilist. That's certainly possible.
But generally, what happens is trolls push right-wing talking
well, yeah, and that's the
points.
thing. Even if you're a nihilist and you believe in nothing, but you keep going on chats every day to push right-wing talking points, you're a right-winger.
Or at
For all
least
intents
you're-
and purposes.
You're presenting as a right-winger.
Your impact on the world is that of a right-winger. So even if in the troll's heart,
Yes, and
They
we
don't
have
actually
read the bill.
believe in
Yes.
those things?
We
Oh,
have
yeah.
read the bill. It's
we
right here.
were reading it earlier.
It's literally right there. It's there.
Yeah.
Here's the one in Florida, and here's the one in Ohio.
Yep.
So yes, we've read the bill.
And
And
read
now we're
read a
listening
couple articles on the bill.
So PragerU say
And now
stupid
we're
shit about
yeah.
people using pronouns.
Looking at some PragerU fear-mongering propaganda.
And it feels wrong because no one wants to be that helicopter parent where we're like, what's going on at school and what are you doing? And but we're at that point where we really need to be, because when we see things happening that are exemplified in these tweets, it really is.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, this is the only webinar like this.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah, I think so.
Right? Oh no, okay.
No, I can't.
No.
I'll
Because
do
it's
that.
because it's in their YouTube video.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so
Hi, Teleport T. Welcome back.
hey, what's up, Teleport T? So Carlene Borisenko, who's a horrible idiot, said, "This is not the only webinar like this the school district has given. In another webinar on March 8th, 2022, middle school students were pressured by their teachers to talk about a time when white silence was violence. A 12-year-old replies that they have social anxiety." Okay, so here's a freeze frame, I guess. Questions to consider. Have you stayed silent when it comes to race and racism, or do you speak up? What types of situations elicit the most white silence? Who benefits from white silence? And whom in your life is harmed by white silence?
So the students said that they had social anxiety, which is why they, didn't say anything. But that's not the point.
Yeah, I don't think this is to call out people with social anxiety. It's just to ask the question. I think these are valid questions to ask.
Yeah.
Personally. I do think sometimes in the left, the notion of silence is violence gets overemphasized.
Yeah.
I do think it's a little hyperbolic as a phrase, and I think it points to an absolutely legitimate dynamic of how the silence of white people allows white supremacy to propagate itself and
Yes.
gets not white people hurt.
The silence of white people is white people as an entity, not some 12-year-old with social anxiety.
Right.
That's the issue. And it's that nitpicky shit that makes things like this so useless.
Yes, and for the record, we wouldn't have to discuss any of this if white people hadn't invented whiteness
Yeah.
as a
Whiteness
construct.
is not a thing. Well,
It's not
whiteness
it's a real
has,
phenomenon in,
Yeah.
in society and culture, but whiteness is not a race. Is not a thing. Like, the definition of whiteness has changed radically over time. Different
Right.
different groups of people have been moved in and out from under the umbrella of whiteness.
Well, and also whiteness, as we understand it today, has direct ties to Christianity. Mm-hmm. And the Crusades.
Certainly.
So, the Crusades were bad. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and so American NSU said, you want to know why the wall is pretty useless? In 2001, after 9/11, the United States almost entirely stopped the flow of illegal immigration from the southern border. The wall is just conservative PR.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
The
and that's
wall
why-
the wall is totally stupid and useless.
Yeah, that's why I believe no religion should exist. I mean, I think organized religion is terrible in its essence. I do. I think there are certain religions within the context of this country that are more harmful to certain groups of people than others.
Yes.
And yes, religion in and of itself. I was saying this to you. I don't know if it was on stream or not, but anything that tries to explain what happens when you die, or what you have to do while you're alive, is bad. I think that that's just like inherently not good. So I kind of agree with you here.
Well, I'm mixed because
you're different than me on the religion.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, first of all, religion, I think it's important to delineate between religion, like religious hierarchy, systems of hierarchical control, and religion as a form of community and ritual and tradition. I think religion is at its best when it's allowing a community to come together on a regular basis and have solidarity on values. Because that's the thing, like you were just saying, like anything that tells you what you're supposed to do during life, like you're not into. I think we as a species need a unified moral code. We need it, or else it's going to be wars forever. I don't see any way of humanity breaking the cycle of violence and murder and war and horror without us getting to a singular set of basic values. So right, and I think like there is the potential that some kind of religion could deliver that. I mean, probably a fairly secular religion by anyone's
well,
modern
right,
standard.
and then
is
by
it a
that
religion?
point, is it a religion?
Is it a religion? Right. So there's a lot of nuance here.
A universal code of ethics is not necessarily religious.
Right. Absolutely, not necessarily. And you certainly don't have to tie it to a specific deity. Or
is
Blatjevik
like still here? I don't know. Blatjevik, you know about this stuff. Would it be a religion if it's just a universal code of ethics, or does it have to revolve around a deity? Blatjevik will know the answer. Tradition has nothing to do with religion.
Well, humankind has always been good at one thing, killing each other.
Okay, so no, it wouldn't be a religion, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a distinction between early Homo sapiens killing each other over like food and territory, and like modern warfare. Like, yeah, we've always been good at those things, and and clearly, we didn't need religion to kill each other. But like, there's a big difference between killing each other because you're legitimately starving, and the legitimate only way to get food is to take it from another early Homo sapien tribe, or being in a world where everyone has there's enough housing, enough food, enough everything for everyone, and you have a war anyway because you believe a bunch of religious nonsense. So in that sense, yeah, absolutely, I'm very against that aspect of religion, that it is so often used to justify massive wars, or the Crusades we were talking about earlier. So yes, but also like my friend Sophie, who's a journalist, just wrote an amazing article about this that we actually should go over sometime, about religion and about how like there are values to religion and what it provides to people, especially in a time of extreme emotional duress like a pandemic, that sort of can't be ignored. But she did a better job of writing it all out than I will do trying to recreate it. So we'll look over that at some point.
We should look over that and then ask her to come talk about it.
Yeah, no, we want to have her on as a guest too. Blatjevik, a religion would require a spiritual tradition of some sort. Religions are closely tied to their originating traditions. They don't come about in a vacuum. Yeah. Even thousands of years apart, like with Christianity, the traditions it sprang from are still powerful, defining influences. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I think traditions and religion is inherently linked.
Yeah, I think definitely tradition has a lot to do with religion.
I took a class on religion when I was in college. College. And I remember specifically learning about like the first instances of what could be recognized as religion, and it was inherently traditional. Yeah. Like cultural practices that developed into something greater.
Well, yeah, and also, sorry, you can go up a little bit. I just want to see the last thing. Sure. Because the thing about all religion can be justified to hurt a fellow person is an interesting statement, because it's like, what if you have a religion that says don't ever hurt anyone physically, don't ever start a war, Obviously, still, stupid assholes can always misinterpret anything. So at that point, is it the religion's fault? Or is it the fault that stupid assholes can take anything and turn it into justification for being a stupid asshole?
Like what they're doing in this video here.
Right. So certainly religion is a popular point of justification. and I don't know if it would always have to be. Like, either if you had a very ethically sound religion, I think it could be different. Also, if you didn't have stupid assholes using any excuse to be the assholes they are. Chosen one. I think there definitely could be room for religion in a good and just world, but organized religion would need a heck of a lot of oversight to make sure the power of leadership held over people isn't abused. Yeah, and I think that's I think if hierarchy is in your religion, it's probably fucked. I think you kind of have to strip hierarchy for any religion to be defensible to me.
Yeah.
Old man Jake, I spent 2009 until 2017 in the Army. I've seen what religion can be twisted into as long as you have the money and power. Oh, yeah, absolutely, old man Jake. I mean, yes. Powerful, shitty warmongers use religion to monger war and have throughout human history.
And thanks for your service.
Yeah, and thanks for your service.
But you know, it's the fact that wars are even being fought for the reason that they're being fought today is you know, at least in the context of this country, we live in basically a theocracy at this point, and an oligarchy, yes, but
theocratic
oligarchy.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
And our wars are like about stupid capitalist shit. It's not for freedom. It's not for any of this
It's
shit.
for resources.
It's for resources.
Usually oil. And soon it'll be water.
Subjecting people to fight those wars in a way that is they can convince people is morally defensible is horrid. And no one should be subject to that. And obviously none of my resentment is to the soldiers actually doing the fighting.
No.
But, you know, it's just not ethically justifiable in any way, shape, or form, and religion does influence that quite a lot.
And Chosen One said, yeah, Unitarian Universalism is one of several that wouldn't really have room to justify atrocities. Yes. And the issue is, of course, when you're dealing with, like, a big fucking asshole, they could even take Unitarian Universalism and be like, you know what I think this means? Kill everybody. You know, like, it's just like, you can't, like...
If you're not a Unitarian Universalist, you shouldn't be alive. Like, it just turns into that.
If someone is such a shitty dumbass that they can't comprehend basic reason, they're never going to interpret anything correctly. So it's a tough, you know, like I said, like, I'm in the middle. Old man Jake, so whatever religious book you pull it in front of somebody, if they had the money and power, they will start a war. You know, certainly the most popular religious books of the modern world, I think that's probably pretty fair. But the thing is with a lot of these things too is, like, you know, like Jesus said, don't do wars.
Yeah.
Jesus said, like, treat your fellow human as you would yourself, like, you know, like all that love your neighbor stuff, like, and still people went and started a religion built around him that preaches the opposite. You know, same with, like, in the why am I forgetting the name of the Muslim holy book, the Quran.
Blatjevig says Jesus said he didn't come to bring peace but the sword.
That is a important detail, and I think you know more about you know, the Jesus stuff.
He didn't teach pure pacifism.
Yes.
He had very specific justifications for violence.
Yes.
Oh my God, cheeseburger Merv, always popping in at the right time.
No, totally, and I feel that, and I think, you know, his general thing was, like, you know, like you know, right, like, I guess I'm thinking more of, like, the meek shall inherit the earth kind of thing. But yeah, so, you know, I don't know. There is a lot of nuance here.
I think religion, as an organized institution, is bad. In a lot of ways. I think that there are cultural traditions associated with religion that I think are really beautiful and cool. I think I love certain people who are religious. I don't think most of it is ethically defensible in any way. There it is. That's what I have to say about that. Anyway, now these kids are learning pronouns.
And also, yeah, if Blatjevig, if you have, like, a cool little, I don't know what, a source I could look at for more about that nuance of Jesus' teachings, I would like to, I'd love to check it out. Because I've, you know, read probably more about Jesus than most non-Christians, but I know I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah, you can send it to me.
Yeah,
Send
put it on the Discord.
Oh yeah, the Disky.
For everybody.
The
For
Disky.
everybody.
Everybody read.
Terrifying. And if we go down, can you scroll down a little bit? That
Cheeseburger Merv, if you can turn why do you think you can turn my fat ass into a shredded stud?
I can't. It's Cheeseburger Merv and Enrique Iglesias that come in here with the shit.
I think he could definitely share his workout tips with you. He could tell you how he got to those 6-pack abs, and then you could apply the same approach.
the conference continued with guidance counselors talking about white supremacy culture, white silence is violence, all of these things, and it's just, it's so sad.
It's so sad.
That is a good argument. It's just so sad.
It's just so sad.
Wow.
It's just so sad.
Tell us more.
So sad. It really is. Keep scrolling down. This Twitter thread goes on and on and on with what this Carlin has exposed. Oh, go to that video right there. So this video, if you guys click on the link, the one that shows all of the students standing against the brick wall, they are making demands to their teachers.
What demands?
Demands such as
Put it on!
Put it on!
Put it on!
Let us hear the kids talk, you liar.
treat me with respect.
I'm gonna find this thread
Don't
after this. Don't
punish
worry,
us
guys.
if we
We'll put it on.
Yeah, treat me with respect. Oh my God. Students are asking teachers to treat them with respect? Where does it end?
misbehave.
Don't punish me when I misbehave. Sure. Fuck
Depends
with
on the punishment. I don't
well, and also it's like
know.
maybe if a kid's misbehaving, maybe teach them.
If
Teach them why the behavior is not workable in the context of a school and a classroom. I think pushing away from punitive stuff and retributive stuff and getting to rehabilitative stuff would be great.
we misbehave in the classroom and you send us outside, you're denying us of an education. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
since when do children dictate what is behavior appropriate, academically appropriate?
Literally throughout all of history, young people define the new, more evolved morality of each new generation. Like during the civil rights movement, like young people were the first ones to say it. Young people are always right about this shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually they become adults, and then
Yeah.
it's fully embraced. And then inevitably, and it drives me nuts, humans make the same fucking mistake every time of going like, this damn new generation with all their crazy ideas.
And then they're keeping more and more.
Yeah,
and
even
more
now,
and
our
more.
generation, millennials are now all like, this Gen Z, not all of them, obviously they're millennials
A
like us who
bunch.
love Gen Z. But a
think
lot
Gen
of
Z's great.
millennials are like, Gen Z, and they're crazy, and they're wokeists.
iPad
And it's like,
kids,
how
all
do
of them.
humans forget so quickly that just like 20 years earlier, you were the one that all the 40-year-olds were saying, like, you crazy kids with your crazy ideas. They always forget. It's insane.
Every time. It's like me every month when I get my period. I'm like, why do I feel like this?
Go to any point in history and go to any point in human history and survey all the 80-year-olds
Yeah.
on their moral values, and you're going to find scumbags
Yeah.
by our modern standards every time. Like this weird, respect, like elders tend to get, like some elders are cool and hooray for them. And I think we should all endeavor to manage to grow old without hating young people. Mm-hmm. It is possible. People do it. But it seems like the people who do it are the minority by a radical degree. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this inherent premise of like, what kids teaching us? No, we teach the kids. It's just like... Wow, well, you're never going to learn anything new because kids are the ones who bring the new ideas to society.
And then when you reject those new ideas, it's like, then shut up.
Yeah. With non-arguments, you reject the ideas and just go like, it's just so sad. Like,
What
it's
happened
just a
to
joke.
the past? It's like, get over it.
Anyway, Cheeseburger Merv, I need to go on the crucifix diet. Yep. Bought you big. I can point to one specific parable that people tend to push out of their minds that testifies to just how much bloodshed will come from a world where the whole Jesus story comes true. Interesting.
Great, yeah.
Cool.
I
I'd love to look at that.
look at it.
And yes, freedom does cost $1.05. Wafers made with the secretions of the grand illusion. It's just like beat poetry. It's
Honestly, it's like Smash.
just I love it.
This ideology is also, not only is it taking advantage of these kids, the malleability of their mind, but it's
Also, I want to say, if a kid comes at you as an older person and says, hey, I think this thing you're doing is wrong, and you can't come up with a good argument for why it's actually good, maybe listen to the fucking kid.
But kids don't have brains.
Right. Like,
This is PragerU.
And this goes back to that because I said so shit.
Yeah. Kids don't have brains, nor autonomy, nor the critical thinking skills that all parents have inherently.
Yes, if you've managed to live past 30 years old, you're a genius, I guess.
Yeah.
And it also it sticks in my craw specifically because I had so many experiences as a kid where I was fucking smarter than my teachers. And I out-argued them on things. And I explained why I thought stuff was stupid. And my arguments were better. And it didn't fucking matter. Because they would just say, well, I'm the teacher because I said so. And like nothing has made me fucking hate all authority and hate all these systems and radicalized me more than that fucking bullshit. Either make a better argument or accept my argument. The third option is stupidity.
Yeah. Got it.
so
Got it.
Yeah, I know. No,
both of
I
them.
fucking, my teachers
Yeah.
drove me insane throughout my entire childhood with their
Yeah.
fucking stupidity.
to be these radical activists in superseding the authority that they should be listening to at school.
Well, the authority is not even just because it's the parents that are telling them, or not the parents, it's the administrators and the teachers that are telling them to act this way, to say that this is all okay. And then you saw earlier in this
What's not okay?
Disobedience is not okay in the mind of right-wingers.
Got it.
No
They're not talking
disobedience
about gay
allowed.
stuff. They're talking about disobedience and
No, they're talking now about the kids who dare to tell their
yeah.
teachers how to behave better.
Luke 19, Jesus tried to explain through parable what the timeline was for his reign because folks listening thought it was about to happen. It's in his super simple explanation. It ends with him saying, I tell you that to everyone who has, more will be given, but as for the one who has nothing, even what they have will be taken away. But those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me.
Wow.
Yikes! Jesus!
That's quite a pull. Yeah.
Jesus!
Thanks for sharing, Blatjevig. That is
Oy.
definitely that's a pretty bloody request
Jesus, sounded a little gross.
on the part of Jesus. But it's also like, like that is Jesus, yeah.
Well, hey, new information is always great.
Yeah, and it's like what? Like, I mean, at the end of World War II, a lot of Nazis were killed, and like I think that was good. I think it's a tough call, and it's one has to be, or I think one should be very thoughtful and considerate of it. But there are times where people like Nazis make themselves into such a poison to society and human as a whole that it's like, what do you do? I mean, I still would prefer to lock them up. I'm anti-killing, but I get like, if you're Jesus dealing with the Roman fucking Empire, I can see how you'd want some people executed in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the people who don't recognize me as king should get killed. That's where it gets weird.
It does, yes.
Jesus.
thread is talking about the parents in this situation, and you are circumventing the parents and letting the state now be the sole arbiter of your child's education, of them growing up and developing skills.
Here's something all you idiot right-wingers would do well to learn, is that you never have control of your children.
No.
Your children are never yours, really. No. You are when you sign up to have a kid, you are signing up to manifest an entirely new and separate from you, like an entirely new entity, a new human being who's going to have their own perspectives, their own thoughts, their own feelings. They don't belong to you. They don't. And if you don't like, if you're like, well, I want my kid to belong to me, don't have kids. We don't need more parents treating their kids like fucking dolls.
Well, right, and now the Pope is like, if you don't have kids, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Which is like, come on, shut up.
I'm glad he showed his hand that he's a stupid asshole, and that, because everyone was starting to think he was some sort of like enlightened guy.
Comes back.
Vladivik, this would be the end times,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
humans who resisted his rise to power when he comes back as a flying robot lick badass. Revelation. Well, yeah, and then with stuff like that, though, like, isn't there a lot of debate about what was actually the word of Christ and what is stuff that was added after? Like isn't anything like, because I thought that a lot of the stuff that's most attributable to Christ, or Jesus, is that he didn't talk much about being like a holy divine being in a lot of the stuff that is, like, I guess more nail downable, historically speaking. But perhaps not.
If I could bang a religious figure from history, who would it be? Was it? I'm trying to think who I would bang. I can't think of anyone. Indian God with AIDS.
There's quite a few of them, actually.
Yeah.
Kali,
So-
Vishnu.
If you need absolute control of your child's education, then the only logical choice is homeschooling, so get the fuck out of public schools. Yeah,
Yeah,
public
I agree
schools.
with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, if you've got such a problem, then yeah, just, even though, like, I think, you know, that, like,
That'll
I'm
lead
not
to more Republican
yeah,
voters.
I'm not exactly happy about them. Like, it would be a more defensible position on their part.
Yes. So there's a strong split between what Paul said and what Peter said, and each of the apostles gives a somewhat different take because they're talking to different
Got
audiences.
it. Got it.
Okay.
That's a good
Good distinction.
yeah, clarification. Yeah, because like the book I read that Paul Verhoeven wrote about the historical Jesus, very much, as I recall, and it's been a few years since I read it, but it very much framed it as like, if like in his view, if you boil it down to the stuff that really seems like you could kind of historically prove Jesus said it, that he really never presented himself as a god or a son of God, and that was really all stuff that was added later on by the apostles. But you know, but I don't know, that was like kind of the sense I remember getting from that book.
Luke was the most matter-of-fact dude who was focused on accuracy. Mark was trying to get his shit out fast. John was writing to a different culture entirely, the Greeks instead of the Jews, so it hits very differently.
And totally chosen one. Yeah, literally any education, you're handing the reins over to an educator.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
want
yeah.
it both ways. The cake and eat it too. And these is, yeah, an interesting Blatjevig. John was trying to do a different
Got
culture,
it.
entirely geeks instead of the Jews. Okay, so it hits very differently. Interesting. Chosen one. My hypothesis is that it's more than that. They don't just want control over the education of their own children. They want control over all children.
Well, that's
Totally.
the quiet part that they're not going to say.
Yes, exactly.
They want a theocratic
Right.
oligarchy.
It's a very fascist goal.
That's something that was added by tradition and
Right,
interpretation.
Blatjevig. Yeah, nowhere in the Bible does it
yes.
say Jesus is God. Right. So
Yes,
they're
yes,
good.
yes,
Good. So I've got it. They've got something right.
It's something added once it became a state religion, but it's added by tradition and interpretation. It isn't a change in the book. I can give you a great example. I want to.
Great.
Yeah, please.
Please.
And also, you're welcome to put a lot of this stuff in the discourse, because we talk about this on stream all the time, and we're happy to talk about it with everyone.
Yeah, and whenever we have, when we go over my friend's article about religion, we'd love to have you here and like
Yeah,
discuss
sure.
all this. I don't
So-
know what'll happen, but we'll figure it out.
It's really the communist plan. I mean, you own nothing. Which now means
Wait,
you have no
hold on,
children,
hold on,
and the children are owned by the schools. The parents
So
in
he's
this
saying schools
situation.
are communism. I really want to hear how this
okay.
thought cooked in his
Exceeding
brain.
the authority that they should be listening to at school.
Well, the authority is not even just because it's the parents that are telling them, or not the parents, it's the administrators and the
Yeah.
teachers that are telling them to act this way, to say that this is all okay. And then you saw earlier in this thread, it's talking about the parents in this situation, and you are circumventing the parents and letting the state now be the
Yeah.
sole arbiter of your child's education, of them growing up and developing skills. So it's really the communist plan. I mean, you own nothing, which now means you have no children, and the children are owned by the...
You know, the communist plan. You
own nothing.
Why do they struggle so much? Well, I mean, I know they're disingenuous and they're liars and they're bastards. But in general, like, why do people struggle so much with differentiating public or personal property and private property? They struggle so much with this.
Because
That, like, just because we say we don't want an oligarch to be able to own 100 factories and control an entire industry, that we're saying no one can own anything?
it's goofy.
And certainly many forms of, many pitches of communism would have no one would be totally, centralized, what have you. And as we said many times before, I think probably the most realistic that humans could transition over to quickly in the near future is market socialism, and that would still have people owning things, and yet there would also be much more equity and justice, I think.
Yeah. I'm reading that.
So, Vladimir, so what's the most popularly shared verse in the Bible? John 3:16, right? Quite popular. Pop Christianity is explicitly at odds with the entirety of that verse. It contradicts the pillars of pop Christian faith. Quote, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son so that whoever believed in him would not die, but have everlasting life." And I think you're still going to give more context to this.
Cool. I'll read it in a seckie.
The schools, they're
Right.
owned by the state,
Right.
and they're the ones who influence their values. I just always find it so funny that people say, like, let's say for me personally, when I have kids, who knows, soon, you have
I hope not.
kids.
Ooh, look out, everybody. Impromptu comedy coming at you.
It's like, I want to teach them Christian values.
Yeah.
I want to teach them godly values, conservative values, and people say, oh, you're
Also known as bad values.
teaching your kids religion, you're indoctrinating your kids, you're brainwashing your kids. And it's like, oh, you're sending your kid to public school and now your kid is trans, and it's like because your teacher pushed it on him? Like,
I really hope you guys heard that. I want to play that again.
So teaching-
because that
so-
was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So sending a child to an institution of learning where they're taught
Reading, writing,
generally
and arithmetic.
empirical facts is just as brainwashy as
Making them a
religious
Christian.
indoctrination. Except also he's not going to acknowledge, like, he just basically made an argument that it's all brainwashing, but I don't think he's going to acknowledge that he just called his own shit brainwashing too with his argument.
Right, because his argument is, well, I'm not any worse than that,
Right.
which implies
Which
that
implies
you're,
that you're
still doing
as
it
bad.
yourself.
Uh,
So the two ways people exist after dying are eternal life and not living at all, not heaven and hell. Yeah, but the point, because the point of Judaism and early Christianity was resurrection, no soul that lives forever, and no flying off anywhere. As Genesis teaches, humans were made for Earth. We belong here. Yeah, and his argument is a whataboutism. Good,
Totally a whataboutism, yep.
but the favorite argument of the right.
And Bobby's got some ads, but yes, this is. So we'll give him a minute for the ads.
But yeah, so we'll
Right.
get back to
No,
Blatyovic.
that's very interesting. Yeah.
I know Blatyovic hates PragerU, so we'll watch it while
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
on ads.
that's what it's like. I would much rather be the person teaching my kids good values than be sent to some loony school to learn something.
To honor your parents, honor thy mother and thy father. I mean, these are
What if your parent beats you every night with a baseball bat? Should those kids still honor their parents no matter what, or is it okay to maybe not honor your parents? You myopic piece of shit.
He's suggesting that because inserting religion to values in education would not any values in education. Yeah, exactly, chosen one.
Yeah, totally chosen one. And we'll wait for you to come back.
basic values. And another thing that I want to point out in this video, and I want you guys to just, if you look at the thread, look at this video. In this video in particular,
same one?
we know
Also,
that
the audio's not working because the mute button is on. They have the mute button on.
These people who can't figure out how to work a video player,
They're-
they actually have the best prescriptions.
It's muted.
They have the best prescriptions for all of society, somehow.
The video's muted.
They can't work buttons on a video player, but please let them dictate how society is structured and operated.
Yeah.
So, Blatyovic, very cool explanation. And yes, and I see how, so all this popular American Christian obsession with heaven and hell is absurd because Zoe and I talk a lot about how Dante made up all that classic stuff.
Leftist audio is a real thing. Yeah, I just.
Oh, leftist audio. Oh, do you mean like leftists having bad audio quality on their their content?
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, there are a lot of bad microphones out there.
But yeah, their whole like we can't get this to work and it's fucking
Yeah,
muted.
I'm
That's a
yeah
real goofy.
less saying that like leftists never have technical difficulties because
We
obviously
do.
they do. We do, but that to present. For them to present themselves as struggling with this very basic thing, and also they should be in charge of society, is pretty laughable.
Yeah.
That.
And it's a little petty nitpick too, fully acknowledged.
Oh, yeah.
Because fuck them, I hate
Because
them.
I hate them.
The schools are trying to insert a wedge between the child and the parent to really to separate the child from the parent. But what this video is also showing is that the school is also inserting a wedge between the children and the teachers. So it's turning these kids not only against their parents at home.
So
Because they want the teachers to punish them less.
giving kids the chance to give feedback to their teachers and create better understanding between students and teachers is actually driving a wedge between them, apparently.
Right. Because the teachers will immediately hate any student who says anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So, because, you know, that's how that works, right?
Yeah, whereas framing teachers as dictators of the classroom and students as their obedient subjects, that definitely doesn't drive a wedge between teachers and students. No.
No.
That's not a wedge.
Making it hard for students to talk to teachers about something other than reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yes, allowing children, making sure children cannot give any feedback, that doesn't drive a wedge. Letting children speak their minds in a classroom, that drives a wedge
It's
between the students and
blaringly
teachers.
apparent that
What a stupid thing to say.
PragerU, and I will say I've said this 10 times today and I'll say it again, does not think children have autonomy at all. You do not
No.
have autonomy in any way, shape, or form until you are an adult. You
No.
do not have a sense of conscience. You do not have a sense of self. You do not have a sense of intelligence, nor common sense until you are an adult. That is what PragerU is constantly pushing.
Well, when conservatives look at the world, they see only masters and slaves.
Right.
That's how conservatives see the world.
That's
They
the conservative
love
worldview.
the master-slave paradigm. And so when they look at their families, they see they see one master parent, the father, and then a bunch of slaves, the wife and the children. That is the common traditional conservative Christian perspective on family. And it just is so glaringly obvious in the way they're talking about this that they think their children are their slaves.
Like, oh, my parent doesn't affirm my gender identity type of a thing, but they're also turning the kids against the teachers in prompting these kids to say things like, if I misbehave in a classroom, you have no right to reprimand me, or you have no right to serve me any consequences because I've misbehaved in your classroom. So it's really...
That's not what she said. Apparently what she said was, don't kick me out of class. Don't put me outside.
Because you're depriving me of education.
She didn't say no reprimand.
Well, there was another
like,
kid
no
before who said,
punishment.
well, we don't even know
Right?
exactly what they said because they didn't play for us what the kids said.
We're
All we
gonna
have
play it. We'll play
is
it.
their claims. So one of their claims is one of the kids said, don't punish me,
What's the idiot's name? 955.
Carlin Bursenko.
Carlin Bursenko. Okay, let's put this back.
Yeah, let's see
where
if
it
we can
was.
find the actual kid video because I'm also
I
sick of
bet
looking
I
at these two
can.
fucking assholes.
Karlan Bursenko. How do you spell it?
Carlin, Senko. Chosen One said, you're punching up, at least in terms of financial backing. It's fine. Thanks, I agree. Fuck PragerU.
This it?
That's her. But you're going to want to find her thread.
Well, this was the yesterday, so it should be
okay.
recent.
Oh, okay, cool.
August 10, 5, going live.
And if you weren't here for the beginning of the video,
here's
these
this.
people, there's this. Okay. They, the PragerU presenters are trying to pretend like they don't know who Carlin Bursenko is, even though she has been a presenter for PragerU before, and they had to remove her videos after she wrote anti-Semitic tweets. So just a little fun detail.
To answer that question, and there was a follow-up question for our
That's
student
loud. It's a little
panelists to add on.
Yeah. We're going big red on that. So I think just turn down the volume here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, we got a genius in the chat.
Oh, good.
Onto that, do you feel like young kids feel seen and supported as much in elementary school as they do in middle and high school?
To answer that question, so I'm in middle school and I have a younger sibling in 4th grade, and not 100% sure what their pronouns are, but right now, so my sibling, I went to the same elementary school and I felt pretty supported, and I actually, I came out in 5th grade with the help of my guidance counselor. And they were really supportive. We had a whole unit with the guidance counselor just teaching us about stuff.
And there was a follow-up question for our student panelists to add on to that. Do you feel like...
Oh, that's on repeat. So that...
Oh. So wait, what was that supposed to be?
The guidance. So the fact that the student said that the guidance counselor helped me come out in 5th grade. That's the whole point of the video. Is that the student said that the guidance counselor helped them come out in 5th grade. I came out in 7th grade. It's not a big fucking deal.
So basically, these conservative types don't believe that someone could be aware of their own gay identity in 5th grade.
Yeah. And Death Priest. I don't get the bill name. I already can't use the word gay as a pejorative without facing social ostracization.
No, you don't. Go hang out with some Nazis online. Go hang out with Nick Fuentes.
They all
Go hang out with Steven Crowder.
Go hang out with a bunch of gay people. You'll hear them say gay as a pejorative.
Go hang out with Ben Shapiro. You've got plenty of community. Unfortunately, sadly, there are plenty of people out there who will not ostracize you at all for being a homophobic
and
shithead.
Also, it's not the bill name. I mean, that's the name given to the bill by people who staunchly oppose what the bill is asking, and it's essentializing the fact that children no longer have a safe space in school to discuss queerness or gender identity. Hence, don't say gay. It's not about don't say the word gay. It's reductive and not a great name, but at the same time, those are the people that are most affected. Hence the name of the bill.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is literally just a video of a kid being like, my guidance counselor helped me come out in 5th grade and they couldn't figure it out. But let's see. Is this the same thread? Oh, here. This is the thread. Great, found it. Where's the students? Here.
Teachers.
Dear teachers.
Dear teachers, one bad day should not ruin the year.
Understand culture differences. Educate each other.
Dear teachers,
Everyone learns at their own pace. Be better with discipline.
don't kick us out the classroom.
Dear teachers,
respect is not given, it's earned.
Yup.
Understand we go through tough times too.
Show us you want to be here and we'll do the same.
Dear teachers, my skin color does not define me.
I mean, I'll say the one thing that was like be
I'm
better,
more than my-
be better with discipline. That's a little vague. I mean, you can criticize.
It's a little
not
vague.
the best verbalization.
It's a little vague, and also they didn't say don't discipline me once.
Yeah, don't ever discipline
They
me.
said
be
be
better,
with discipline, not don't discipline. And then the other kid said don't kick me out of the class. That's what was said.
And the nice thing is when you let kids speak and say like, "Oh, I'd like you to be better with discipline," then you can ask them, "Oh, how could I be? How do you think I'm not as good with discipline, and how could I be better?" And you can actually have a dialogue and develop a better understanding of each other and a stronger connection. Or as PragerU puts it, drive a wedge between students and teachers.
Yeah. Hard to understand them over the sound of air. You mean our air or their air? Yes.
Their audio is very bad.
Yes.
don't talk behind our back.
Respect goes both ways.
Yep.
Dear teachers, it doesn't matter how long you work, you can still learn.
Dear teachers, establish better communication.
Dear teachers, stop suspending students if you want them to learn.
Dear teachers, it is your job to care.
I have no issue with anything that any of them said.
I mean, and also like these are just starting points. This is just feedback.
It's
isn't
opening doors to conversation.
This isn't about like here is the ultimate video that now declares what is ultimately cosmically right according to children. Like no, they're just the kids are saying how they feel, their thoughts, and then we can respond and
they're
have
like,
a conversation.
They are driving a wedge
Yeah.
between them and teachers. They're saying, teachers, can we talk better to each other?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, can't have teachers near students anymore. They're going crazy.
No. You just have to tell all the students they can never give feedback on anything, and they just must be absolutely obedient, and that's the right-wing solution.
Dear teachers, it's your job to care for us. They are drawing a wedge.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Consequences because I've misbehaved in your classroom. So it's really scary.
But isn't that indicative of the world that we live
video
in, where
is
people don't have to take
scary,
consequences
y'all.
for their action?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why we are in the state that we are in America, because young people have felt like they never have had to take consequences, because if you fail, you get a trophy for it.
Yeah.
Instead of, I was on this podcast on Friday.
Why is
How are
that
they
such a
still-
popular right-wing talking point?
my
Participation
God.
trophies.
Oh my God.
Participation is not failure.
We talked about participation trophies before. They don't.
I hate them like
We
personally.
got them, and nobody thought. I never thought like this means I'm number one, just like the person who got the giant number one trophy. Like no, it's just.
It's
It's
I
just,
was
it's
embarrassed
just,
when I
it's
got
a
one.
fucking rhetorical cudgel. It's just,
It's such a right-wing
it's just a
talking
thing
point.
that they know when they say it. All the morons who watch Fox News and Ben Shapiro and everything else will go like, yeah, participation trophies, yeah. That's it. They're just appealing to their stupid, stupid base. And then, I mean, and this guy, I think probably less Machiavellian on his end because he seems like a fucking dumbass. I think he just...
Yeah, he has his 5 thoughts
Yeah,
that he
he just
circulates.
actually believes this shit because he's very stupid. Sadly.
And the No Child Left Behind shit. Yeah,
Back in
that's
Florida,
also not
this,
good.
that PBD podcast, and there was this woman called.
Like,
it's
imagine
mom.
this fucking guy in a debate. Can you imagine?
He has 5 talking points.
He has 5 things he knows. He would be fucking obliterated. And then they pay him, this propaganda outlet pays this dumbass to go on the internet and fucking parrot off his 5 things he knows ad nauseum. It's amazing.
She said, you know, I'm trying to raise young boys. What is the best piece of advice that you can give me for raising these boys? And I said, let them fail. You have to let them fail.
Oh!
Good point.
Who said... Wait. I just want to get this logic straight. We reward people for failing. That's bad. The best advice I can give is let people fail. So what he's saying is, by giving people a participation trophy, you're actually not letting them fail. You are making their failure a success. Is that what he's saying?
I think that's what he's trying to say.
So, but you're still acknowledging that this is a failure. So I. Just,
Well, also, by that logic, you can't have second place or third place trophies.
well, because that's a failure.
Because that's just making failure into victory.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you draw the line?
Right.
4th place, 5th place, 6th place, 7th place, 8th place?
It is a phantom argument. Thank you.
Yeah, like, what are participation trophies are basically a bunch of 4th place trophies.
We woke teleportee. Good.
And yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not a petition or whatever. Thank W. Bush for that. And the No Child Left Behind shit. That was, I think that's related to the participation trophies, which killed standards. What did he say? My ears broke.
Also, like, if you don't get hired for a job, you don't get a trophy. If you don't make enough money to have a house, you don't get a trophy.
It's seriously like all this.
It's for sports.
All this emphasis on a thing that only happens in kids' sport classes.
It's sports.
It doesn't happen anywhere else. The moment you graduate into adulthood in the world, you're not getting a participation trophy for anything ever. You're getting punished with death if you dare to not work. Like, what?
It's so wild.
It's so, I mean, like, yeah, literally, like the definition of myopic. Like, holy shit, like, you're so zeroed in on this fucking nonsense. Very silly.
Because if they don't fail and then have to learn from the mistakes that they make, then they're never going to be great people. You know, if these people can just get...
If you don't do good at sports, you're never going to be great people.
And also, it's like, if you get a participation trophy, you still have the incentive of, like, maybe someday I could get 3rd place or 2nd place or 1st place to drive you. You still failed to get 1st place. You failed to get 2nd place. You failed to get 3rd place. Where do you draw the line on failure? It's just these people, their philosophies are so shallow.
these children can get away with whatever they want and not have to fail and learn from their mistakes, then they're going to be weak people and they'll never be real men. They'll never be real.
They'll never be real men. Me.
Strong women. You have to be.
They'll never be real men or strong women. You know how men are real and women are strong.
I didn't even catch that.
You know?
Real men or strong women.
This guy is so fucking
because
stupid.
Strength is inherently male.
Like, holy shit.
So strong is man. Or could be woman a little strong, too.
Right. Strong woman, real man.
And the woman sitting next to him is like,
Yeah.
It's insane.
He's just babbling.
In a way that he's obviously not aiming the corporate workplace environment, which indeed doesn't give yeah, exactly. Gives adequacy trophies and only rewards excellence in how to shit on your coworker. Yeah.
Totally true, chosen one.
Able to be held accountable for your actions and make those mistakes and not be worried about making those failures.
Yeah.
So, but this is this cushy culture.
He said make failures like 10 times.
And the kids get to decide what the parent the parent does, and it's
not in my house.
Not in my house, bro.
And
I would hate to be her kid.
God, oh my God, can you imagine being related to these people in any way? What a nightmare.
Listen. I do think she's very attractive though, and I like one of my favorite, like my type is like a right wing like Republican Long Island mom, like just like sexually, and it's my goal like from the inside to like infiltrate all the right wing Republican moms.
Hey, if you can change their mind with fucking, I'm all for it.
I really think I could be good enough at sex to change the minds of all right wing Republican moms. So anybody, I'm single.
Great. It's a plan.
In his house either.
No.
The future house.
No.
Not in my current house, not in his future house.
Right. My dog
knows. The dog knows. Yeah. Okay, so enough doom and gloom.
You have a dog? Oh, that poor dog.
I don't know. How do we look at comments? Are we able to look at comments? Let's see if any of you have any comments. Oh, I don't have it pulled up. This is what you guys...
And still, the only reason you heard actual audio from any of these videos they're criticizing is because we played them for you. Think about the journalistic malpractice taking place here. That these fucking shitheads started this whole argument with, have you seen these videos and these tweets? And then they failed to show you the videos or the tweets, and now just proceeded to rant and babble to their heart's content about why the thing they didn't even succeed in fucking showing you is teaching you to be a failure. Maybe you're teaching us to be failures with your failure at running your podcast. What the fuck?
He's getting paid to fail right now.
I know.
She's getting paid to fail right now.
Like, apparently it is okay to fail in this because you're both complete failures as intellectuals and you're getting paid to be intellectual failures. So maybe we should all fail more. And then we could all be as successful as the laughable fucking mannequins who work in PragerU. Holy shit.
You know how Casey feels about a
mannequin. You know how I feel about mannequins.
We are going old school, bare bones, going live. Look at, we got one camera today, wheels on the computer. I've been charged with doing technical things, which is never a good idea. That's okay. But what I want to do now is to...
Conservative said PragerU and woke. How did we go woke? Conservative, tell me.
How did we go woke? We didn't go woke.
Oh,
We're talking about the... Oh,
that works too.
Thank you. God bless Taylor. Any comments?
Wait.
What is happening here?
I'm so confused. I'm a pretty smart girl and I'm confused.
I mean, I'm glad we selected this because it just goes to show, like, how astoundingly low the standards of PragerU are. That this is their content.
I'm not woke. What?
It's like I rewatch our content and I see like a little off thing in one of my arguments, like a little detail, like, oh, I wish I had said this a little differently, and I'm like, ugh, and like they put this shit up and they're like, yes, we're proud of our work here at PragerU.
She's like, listen, I don't know how to read Twitter comments. We only have one camera. We only have one camera, too.
Yeah, somehow we manage.
And we have no team.
Yeah, and we don't have millions of dollars of blood money behind us.
From our Facebook crowd. There's a lot of comments.
Yeah.
And also, wait, chosen one. I think another Quiet Party wants to say is that it should be okay to physically beat and verbally abuse kids. Absolutely. These two think it's okay to beat kids.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
If that's what the parent thinks is right. Well, they've gotten tired of being called out for showing short, out of context clips, so it's safer to just not show it at all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would suspect, indeed. And got you muted stream. But yeah, good points, chosen one.
Anyways, let's watch the ad. What I want to do is leave this doom and gloom exposition of what was happening in this Burlington, Vermont school district. I want to shift it now to something hopeful. PragerU Kids, as I mentioned at the top, has been around for 1 year. We've got, I think, almost 115 books, magazines, shows for kids kindergarten through 12th grade, really serving to counteract all of this woke agenda that's in our schools. We want to give our kids the values, the fundamental share.
We are trying to undo everything you guys learn at school.
Your agenda, bad. My agenda, good. That's what you can boil all of this down to. Because instead of actually making an argument with evidence for how the agenda is bad, they just say, it's just so sad. And then they say, we have our own agenda. Support our agenda.
We have hundreds of videos.
Because we have good Christian values. Welcome back, chosen one.
Yikes.
And if you didn't hear, we were reading your stuff.
We thought it was
good points.
Knowledge about who America is, what we stand for, freedom, responsibility, consequences, if they are, in fact...
America stands for consequences.
America, the country of consequence.
America, the country that always gleefully accepts the consequences of their actions.
Wait a minute. Is there someone in my brain who's never faced any consequences for his terrible actions?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I can think of anyone who keeps doing bad things a lot and fucking over a lot of people and isn't facing consequences.
Yeah.
Huh. No, I guess it's never happened on the right wing.
Nope.
Warranted. And we have a new ad that showcases PragerU Kids, and my own children have watched this ad several times because they just get the biggest kick out of it. And you're going to see this ad running on many of your favorite television.
I'm just imagining her sitting there with her kids, like playing the ad over and over again as the kids sit there like...
Well,
and she's like, they just love it so much. Play again. Isn't it great? And the kids are like, yes, Mom, it's okay. Yes.
Slap, slap, slap.
Yes, it's good. But can we stop watching after the 6th time? No, you don't get to decide the rules, little boy. The parents decide the rules. It's like, I'm so terrified of imagining having to live in a house with this woman as a child with no rights. Holy fuck.
Okay, I'm done.
The News Network. Wow. So let's play the ad. Oh, do we have audio for the ad? Oh, I certainly hope so.
Please.
Okay, we're going to try it. No audio for the ad? Oh my gosh. It's in the description. The ad is in the description, and you can watch it.
They made a video about how the leftists just are all about failure and justifying failure. And then they spent the whole video failing to play any of the stuff they said they were going to play for us.
I'm going to shit my pants.
This is like...
Do they figure it out?
Were they trying to look like a joke?
I'm waiting with bated breath. I'm on the edge of my seat. Do they figure it out?
This is what you call. This is a test of if we know how to go live or not. The funniest line in this ad, and that shows the frame of this kid right here. This part, this kid, right?
Is she gonna recite a funny line from the ad over a freeze frame of the ad because she can't figure out how to just play the fucking ad? Is this about to happen?
Yes.
Here. The famous line is,
like
"Hey, Mom, Dad, did you know America is racist?" And it goes through this whole thought process of the parents and, I used to have...
I can't wait to watch it. I can't
let
wait
me
to
tell you,
watch
everybody.
it. I can't wait to watch
This is top shelf impromptu comedy.
It's the funniest shit.
Where do they get this stuff? Where do they come up with all these jokes?
I'm gonna die.
Had this baby, and how did he become racist, and blah, 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 and it's all the stuff that he's being taught in schools. And then George Washington comes in, turns the whole dinner table upside down, and the kid turns into a freedom fighter. And it is such...
I can't wait to see this ad.
Was that a joke? Is that in her mind a joke she just told us? about?
No, I think that's at the actual commercial.
No, but I'm saying she's presenting as like the funniest line. The funniest line.
Oh, yes, you're right. She said
the funniest part in the commercial. And then she just recited all that shit awkwardly. And I'm like, does she think that's
funny?
That's funny. I can't wait to watch
Y'all,
this.
right-wingers need to get better at comedy.
Yeah, and Chosen One, yes, totally. Because I said so.
Such a cute ad, and it is just there's so much truth in it, and it's obviously a commercial for PragerU Kids to get you to subscribe and to just reaffirm that we are.
Oh, she said they were playing this on television, by the way.
Are here for you to give parents and teachers the tools.
Anyone who watched Tucker last night might have seen the.
Yes.
Might have also seen my fiance. She was on Tucker too.
She was?
Yeah, she was on Tucker too, talking about Hungary.
Oh.
Yeah, it was great. But you might have also seen our ad, which I heard too when I was watching it.
They're fucking.
The fiance first,
and
then the PragerU Kids ad.
I'm usually pretty good at this.
PragerU third. That's
I'm very disappointed
Did
that
you see that? She was like.
Yeah, no, she's definitely worn a few of his pearl necklaces.
Did not get to watch this ad, but watch the ad. Join us at PragerU Kids, PragerUkids.com. Join us. Will, any parting words for
you got that URL okay?
PragerUkids.com. Join us. .com join us?
.com join us. .com/join us. .edu.
In the group. Stay strong, I say.
Yeah, all of these things. No matter how minuscule it might seem to you or how small of a thing that, you might have heard happening at your school.
Well, I don't know to think of it a minuscule or not. You didn't show me anything, sir.
Look, as long as we can get everyone watching PragerU Kids, transness will cease to exist.
Yes, apparently.
Investigate everything and then talk about everything to your school, to your district.
Will you investigate everything? You didn't investigate anything today.
Because you might
to
just
your
hear,
children.
To your children as well, because you might just hear one thing, but you have no idea what's actually happening behind the scenes, even more what these sickos are doing. And also talking to your children. A lot of this stuff is a responsibility on the parents. You have to be the responsibility for your own.
I always hesitate to say things like this because I care about the well-being of the children of these horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to have a gay kid. And I don't want them to have a gay kid because that gay kid's life would be terrible.
Right.
But I want them to have a gay kid so that they can understand that no amount of bullshit indoctrination that you can push on a child is going to stop them from being gay or trans, because that's just who they are, and that's just how they exist in the world. And so part of me always wants parents like this who preach the shit like we can eliminate all these kids from being trans as long as we start teaching them about the Bible. I hope they have trans kids or gay kids that they will love.
The issue is because they're conservatives and because they don't need their values to be consistent in any way because they live on their own fucking planet of insane horribleness. No, what they'll learn is, oh, I love my kid, so I'll make exceptions for my gay kid. But fuck everybody else. It's the same thing where like they'll get in a a conservative couple will rant all day for years about no abortion, no abortion, no abortion. And then when they need an abortion, they go get an abortion. Because they don't need they have no shame. They have no brains and they have no shame.
No shames, no brains.
So they can just go case by case and be totally ridiculous and inconsistent. So sadly, that I don't think that would even teach them a lesson.
Because they come from a place of needing to go out and convert others, so they assume gays are doing the same. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
No, because no one is a conservative naturally. People are gay naturally. People have different colored skin naturally. But nobody is a conservative naturally. You have to teach a person to break their own brain.
He said it already. He said
be
that.
A conservative.
I have to teach my kids conservative values.
Exactly, because they are sick and twisted.
Yeah. Well, of course they have no idea how it works. And anytime anyone tries to explain it to them, they're like, ah! Like,
no, I mean, look at these fucking airheads. Like, I'm sorry to be so like all about stupid. Like, they just seem really fucking stupid.
What have I done? Yeah.
We're live. Hey, everybody.
Anyway, that was the end.
Children-
basically.
It was
Okay, we'll see
technical
the sign-up.
difficulties. Thank you. Stay strong. Join us at PragerU.
Stay
Kids. Bye,
strong.
guys.
Don't get
Thank
gay.
you.
Stay strong.
Can we look a little at the comments here? I want to see if people are like, this wasn't a video.
PragerU went rogue. Oh, so someone named
Yeah.
conservative kept saying
Yeah.
PragerU went woke. That's why she was like, we're not woke.
But then didn't respond.
PragerU went woke and leave. Happy? Oh, whoever is this conservative is funny. PragerU went woke. PragerU went woke. Congrats, Will, on your fiance. I thought that was the singer of The Offspring.
But wait, go down to the comments.
It was a live, so these are comments.
But don't they have after comments too for the YouTube video?
Oh, do they?
I think.
Let's see.
Yeah. Wait. Oh no, maybe not.
No, because it was all. This was
Okay,
their
so
live.
that was it. Okay.
That 15 minutes was their live.
Well, because I was just curious if there were comments after the fact being like, "What is this? This is just you failing to show me things and then saying that if I had seen them, I'd agree with you."
Everyone's upset that PragerU needs mods because whoever this conservative guy was kept saying that's a big issue. You woke boy, calling PragerU woke.
And chosen one, which only has room for consideration if you have no fucking idea how sexuality works. Yep, or gender identity. Yep. Quote, it was technical difficulties. I would love that to be a retrospective thought about regressives like them when people look back in 100 plus years. Yes. It was just a bunch of technical difficulties.
Someone said, if you this is all the comments, by the way. Someone said, if you geniuses want to die on that gay adoption hill, go ahead, but we conservatives are moving on to bigger issues. Adopting a child isn't woke, but forcing your ideas via school is. Yikes. Yikes, yikes.
Yikes, 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 yikes,
PragerU went woke, PragerU woke, PragerU went woke. They don't even have mods.
I love, yeah, they're just getting trolled
And
by
she
somebody.
had no idea that this comment was happening, and her response was, we didn't go woke. Okay, wait, PragerU kids ad. I need to see it now.
That's it.
Yes! Save
It's
your
gonna be
child's,
child's
mind!
mind.
Oh no!
It's literally the opposite of reality every time. The reality is break your child's brain with PragerU Kids, and they translate that to save your child's mind.
With family, and you settle in to dine. Your son is watching something, but you think it must be fine. You know
What
it's
is this accent?
Your son is
Wait,
watching
go back to the top. I want to hear the top, because, like, what is this
Is
accent?
it British, or is it like...
I think he's trying to be like the proper British, but it's really weird. Listen.
It's dinner time with family,
Dinner
and
time.
you settle in to dine.
To
Your
dine.
son,
Dine.
He's doing like a little bit of
it's
like...
like a little, like, German or something.
Yeah,
I don't even know
yeah.
what
He
that
like
is.
can't do just a basic...
Time to dine.
You know, like a posh English accent.
It's like a little bit Borat. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
a little
British
bit.
with like a little bit Borat.
Which makes sense, because conservatives are not creatively talented. So how are they going to find a voiceover artist to do this for them who's actually good?
son is watching something, but you think it must be fine. You know it's only kid shows, so you have some peace of mind. But as you eat the roasted goose, your little sport insists.
Hey, Dad, did you know America is racist?
Your mind goes numb, your skin turns pale, and your heart aches with fear.
Your skin was already pale, white boy.
Your child is being filled with lies, the babe you once held dear. But in that shocking moment, a man pops into frame. Could it be George Washington? Here to
Oh my
say-
god, I did for a second in the sword hand, I thought his hand was in his crotch. I thought George Washington was walking into the scene with his hand down his pants. I'm glad it wasn't.
Save your child's brain? He snatched the screen and changed the thing, the something that is true. It's an app with shows for kids. They call it PragerU.
What this is telling me is that we're gonna have to do a lot more PragerU Kids coverage to debunk this fucking nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's content for your child's mind to fight the leftist lies. And if you give your child a chance to watch and think and grow, they might burst forth like Washington, a true American hero. Think better, live better. Visit PragerUKids.com for free kids shows, cartoons, and books that teach class.
Cartoons. I heard that too.
So is it like it might
Maybe
be
that
he
is
has
his
an accent
accent.
and he's trying to do English and not quite
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That could be it.
Classic American values.
Holy fuck. Hey, did you know America's racist? Ah! And then George Washington shows up and fixes that. Because you know who invented PragerU?
Right.
G. Wash himself.
Yes. George Washington, I always feel like worth noting, the richest man in America at the time he was elected president. Literally, American democracy started with electing the richest man in the country. That's where presidential stuff started. Anyway.
I really, really, really hate them.
PragerU, yeah, they're fucking awful.
What a sad reality.
And Chosen One, yes, it does sound like a parent who isn't ready to parent and has better odds of a patriotic miracle than actually having a meaningful discussion with his child. Seriously, like, oh God, I might have to actually talk to my kid. Oh, thank God George Washington materialized in the room. Oh. That was close. Oh, and he's got an iPad with PragerU Kids on it? Oh, great. Okay, good.
Yeah. So PragerU is a fan of iPad Kids, as long as they're watching PragerU.
I'll never have to talk to my kids again. Thank you, George Washington. Thank you.
I can't handle my kids.
Thank you, good sir.
Give them the iPad with PragerU.
Anyway, I think we've covered this topic.
We have covered this topic.
Yes?
I think that was a fun time.
That was a fun time.
Wow.
That's a good sort of summary of everything we've seen today.
Also, I want to mention 2 people we've asked to join the Discord, and one person said, I can't, I did it already. No, you didn't. Yeah. And the second person disappeared.
Yes.
So...
Yes.
I don't know. I guess we'll keep trying.
Oh, yeah.
It'll happen.
Oh, someone's gonna
have some balls.
Someone's gonna have a spine one of these days, and will actually talk to us, and it's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really funny.
I'm really excited.
When one of these people actually puts their voice and their spontaneous thoughts on the line.
God, I've been dealing with Discord all day. I just want to talk in a chat.
I just want to shit on you via text.
Like,
oh, I'm sorry. Did you only want to shit on us via text? Oh dear.
I have the same amount of respect for people like that, and amount of respect for people who like break up with people over the phone or via text message.
Oh,
That's
totally.
how I feel about that. I'm like, nah, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So should we wrap for
yes,
the day?
Let's wrap up. Thank you everyone who's here today. This was awesome. Lots of fun in the chat. Thank you for being vocal, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time. We're going to start with some cartoons tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's Thursday.
We get goofy. So tomorrow at noon,
goofy.
we'll put on some silly. Oh, good boy, Pip.
Pip
We'll put on
knows.
some silly old Saturday morning cartoon and goof on it, and then who knows? Maybe some games, maybe some more political stuff. Oh, Pippy, I love you.
Yeah.
And Pip says he loves y'all too, and thank you, Teleportee. Whoa, and you're welcome. Mwah. And we'll be back. Well, you're such a
Love
good.
you madly. Tell all your friends about
love
it.
you all madly.
Subscribe.
Yes, tell everyone.
Tell your teachers.
Tell all your richest, most subscribe happy friends to come check out the Casey and Zoe thing and shower us with riches. That would be great. Because we want to keep eating food, and we're a little broke right now, and that's okay.
Dying. So
yeah,
so
we'd like to keep eating food and living in a house. So tell your rich friends, and we'll be back on the Flippy Dip.
Bye.
We love you all. Thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.